Hello. How are you all? Hope you're doing well. I just wanted to pop on really, just to talk about some stuff that's been going on just recently with me, and that's caused me quite a major setback actually, and it was quite an emotional time. And how things change so quickly, how things can change so quickly is beyond me, to be quite honest. It all started really when I got my YouTube channel sorted the other day, and I was watching all of my live videos because I was uploading them, and it was quite a strange thing to watch, to be honest, because I don't think that all of my live videos were saved during the period of well over a year, to be honest. And it's funny because the live videos kind of like gave me a voice, which was really interesting for me, because as you all know, when I've spoken previously about me as an individual, I never felt that I did have much of a voice because of being that middle child. I always felt like I was kind of like invisible. And then all of a sudden, live came along and I embraced it in such a way that it was like a new lease of life for me, pardon the pun. And this was all played out on my live streaming. And first of all, my live streaming was all about cooking and my love of cooking. And I do adore cooking. I love really nice food. There was a lot of gym sessions going on, a hell of a lot of gym sessions going on, early morning gym sessions. I didn't actually upload all of those. And I would just be cooking. Sometimes I'd cook 5 things in a day. And I was really having fun with it, and people really enjoyed it. And it was just fun. It was just relaxed, and I'd have a glass of wine, and I was just trying to help people really think about food slightly differently. That was my message, I suppose. It is fun to cook. It's fun to cook, and it's fun excuse me, it's fun to cook, and it's fun, and it's nice to actually eat really nice food. And that's kind of like what I was trying to portray. And during the same period, I actually started to view life quite differently. But that had been going on for a while. So I don't know whether this clean eating actually was helping me to clarify and discharge and detoxify and do whatever, but just to really open my vision and open my awareness to things that was going on around me to such a degree that I just went on. And I woke up. And to some people, when you say you woke up, they don't understand it. They don't get it. But people that are awake and spiritually aware will totally understand where I'm going with this. And you could see it in one of my lives. I sat and I looked something like 10 years younger. I looked really totally even more happy than I was when I was doing the cooking. Now that was something. I was really, really happy. You could see it. It was just beaming all out of me. It was amazing. I'd woken up, and in that live, I actually said, this sounds ridiculous. I'm 49 years of age. I'm now 50. I have to keep reminding everyone of that one. And I've only just found myself. This is ridiculous. But that's when I knew I was awake. And at that point, and prior to that point, actually, even when I was doing the cooking, I'd started already to distance myself from a lot of people. I didn't actually really understand why at that point. I didn't really engage with it to such an extent that I was analysing anything, to be honest. But I did distance myself from a lot of people, and those people were the very closest people to me. And that was my family, and that was my closest friends, because they made me feel that I felt uncomfortable being around them. And I didn't know why I was feeling uncomfortable being around them at that point. I really didn't know, but I just knew that it really felt like an effort for me to be in their company. And I felt low. It was like I'd come from this helium balloon little life that I'd developed for myself and was getting involved in. And as soon as it's the only analogy I can use, as soon as I was around these people, it was like all the air had been sucked out of me, absolutely sucked out of me. And that's how I felt, but I didn't understand it. I didn't comprehend it, because these people had been in my life for years and years and years. They're my family. They're my very closest friends. So I didn't understand it. So I started to just really distance myself and get involved in my journey, my new found journey, this new path, this new spiritually awakened path that I was on. And I was so excited about it. But I couldn't talk to my friends and my family because they didn't understand me. They didn't understand it. They didn't understand any of it. And to be honest, I didn't really attempt to either, because I'd lost a connection. I didn't feel that I was able to do that. And it's not necessarily, I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. All I'm saying is that's how I felt at the time. So that pinnacle moment when I looked so young in that live, I love that live. I've even put the lipstick on that I had on that day. I'm trying to reenact it. So going back to the live streaming and setbacks. So bear with me, because I have to go through this to get to the point that I'm trying to make, okay? Because this is about the journey, and this is about my journey, and this is about my spiritual journey and my spiritual awakening. And it's about why setbacks are okay. And at that point, that pinnacle moment in my life, that's when things went rapidly downhill for me, in such a way that when I look at those live streamed videos of myself talking, when I really started to change how I was using Facebook Lives, from the cooking to being more open and transparent about things in my life and being this spiritually awakened, I wanted to speak my truth. I wanted to speak my truth, and I wanted to be authentic, and I found live streaming a way to do that. Morning, Beth. Hi. Thank you for joining, everyone. So I used the lives to do it, and I really did vocalise on that, how I was feeling, what I was thinking, what was going on in my life, how I was coping, how I wasn't coping, questioning constantly people's behaviours, because I couldn't understand what was going on around me. I absolutely couldn't understand what was going on around me. And I used the lives for that. But during that same period, when I'm using their lives for that, I saw such a magnificent change in my physical appearance. It was like that 10 years younger lady that found herself and was like, oh my God, this is the most amazing thing ever that I've just found and I want to tell the world. Went from that quite quickly into somebody that couldn't understand what was going on around them, felt as if she was being attacked and persecuted on such a deep level that it really took its toll on me. I became ill. I got quite ill. I looked ill. I felt ill. But I carried on, and I carried on, and I carried on, because I knew inside, deep inside, that this wasn't about me. This was about them. It was about them and their behaviours. But what it did do is it triggered, and I'm going to thank these people for this, actually, to be quite honest, because it triggered so much inside of me that I had to then go within. I had to go within. I had to go deep inside me to see and understand why I was feeling so aggrieved by what was going on around me, because I was feeling so aggrieved by it. So I started to go within and started to peel back. And I came to a place where I felt really fine about everything. Now, bearing in mind, I'm talking about these people, I'm 50 years of age. These people have always been in my life. For 50 years, I've had these people in my life, right? And I've no longer got them in my life. And I feel fine about that. I actually do feel fine about that. And I know how and why. And this comes to the setback shortly of why I feel so fine about that. So, a situation happened yesterday. Before I continue, let me just say, Agnes, you are very empathetic, Angela, and some friends and family took all your energy in the past and dumped their negativity on you. Heavy to carry. Great, you have managed to distance yourself from them. Exactly, Agnes, that's exactly what was going on. But at the time, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it because I was going through my own healing journey, my own healing process at the same time. And it was all those things that they were doing was triggering this healing process within me. So that's why I say thank you, because otherwise I would have carried on probably asleep and living in a world that had no vibrancy for me. So there I am on my lives, back to my lives again, and I spout, don't I, about being true to yourself, finding your authenticity, taking your mask off, and I say all of those things. And I've been thinking quite deeply about that, because if I just come on and talk to you about finding yourself, being true, authenticity, taking your mask off, all of those things, and sit here every time I talk like my life is nice and rosy, then I'm a hypocrite. I am being a hypocrite. And I didn't want to be a hypocrite, because I'm not a hypocrite, because I need to be true to myself. I don't just spout things off. These are things I actually I'm doing. I am personally doing these things. And they're wonderful things to do, because you do, once you can find your integrity in there and you can stand in your own strength the way that you know that you need to, because that's who you really are, once you've stripped it all back, it's a beautiful place to be. It is actually a beautiful place to be. But yesterday I had a bit of a setback, a huge setback. Now, it was horrendous in my world, okay? Now, bearing in mind, we've got people being stabbed left, right and centre and shot in my Walthamstow borough of Walthamstow, yeah? Or the local area of Walthamstow. And there's me, little Angela, having a setback and in a right old state. So in the scheme of things, I appreciate that my little world here is minor in comparison to that. However, to me it's major, because it's my life. And I'm going to talk about this. So I'd been talking in a group about all of our school people getting together to celebrate our 50th, because you can imagine there's a lot of us being 50 this year. And this has been going on, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, out of nowhere, somebody pipes up with, Angela, invite your sisters and your best mate. And I sent a message back in this group. There's about 50 odd people in this group. In hindsight, I shouldn't have done this, but I did do it. Right? And I said, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to do that when these people have caused me so much pain? But this guy, for some reason, was insistent. Now, that triggered me in such an extent, because I don't know why that person did what they did in the first place, but we've had a conversation about it now. And I ended up in such a state, right? I haven't cried like that since the day I lost my mum. In fact, I didn't even cry when I lost my mum. I cried when I found out she had the cancer and she had a 1 in 5 chance of survival. And that's not sobbing crying. That is my tears just flipping, streaming down my face, and I can't stop it. I can't control it. It's just coming and coming and coming and coming and coming. And I was confused at that point because I thought, I've dealt with this shit. I've dealt with this shit. I'm okay about it. I don't need these people in my life. And then I got thinking, because this crying was so ridiculous, I kid you not, and it weren't a good look. I was in Aldi doing my shopping with these tears just flooding and flooding and flooding down my face. I could not control it. Now, perhaps I shouldn't have gone to Aldi. Perhaps I should have just stayed indoors, but I had things to do. You know, I had things to do. And I had a lot of mixed emotions about it. And one of the things that came to me was fear. It was the fear of someone forcing these people back into my life. Because I don't want them in my life. What's done is done. And I am in a really good place here. I'm in a good place. Was it the relief? Was it the relief that I put something in motion to stop that from happening? Or was it the relief that made me cry that way? Or was it because I needed just to release more of that emotional, that emotionally blocked emotions that were just stuck inside of me that I didn't actually realise were still there? Now, this was a major setback for me yesterday because I felt like shit. And I haven't felt like shit for a long time. And I reached out to a couple of people, and which was really kind of them, actually, to, you know, just because they know what's gone on. They've seen my lives. They watched it. Even they was like, what is going on here? Anyway. And that was a massive setback for me because I sat thinking, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I've lost the biggest part of my life I've ever known. My family. And my closest friends. I've lost the biggest part of my life I've ever known. But good fucking riddance to it, is what I say. Because why do I want people in my life that have caused me nothing but pain? I spoke to my mentor. I love my mentor. Do you know that, Sam? I love her. She is such a brilliant person. She's so intuitive, it's unreal. And she sent me a few articles this morning, and she sent me a video to watch. Some guy called Ralph, who I must say is a rather interesting guy. But these are like spiritual type articles. And it goes back to what you said, Agnes, about being a sensitive, about being an empathetic person. And it made me realise even more, actually, so thank you, Sam, okay? It made me realise even more that I have to be true to myself because I'm on this journey. It's a healing journey. Last night I was ready to throw the towel in. I was ready to throw the towel in on everything that I've been doing, all the hard work that I've been doing, all my spiritual work, because it knocked me for six. The thought of these people being back in my life, I couldn't cope with that. Just the thought of it, I couldn't cope with that. So this morning I've read these articles that she sent to me. And as I said, thank you, Sam, for doing that. You are a star, actually, because it made me sit back up and say, do you know what, Angela? That is just a setback. It's a setback, and it's okay. It's okay that you've had a setback. And it was okay to release those emotions because you clearly needed to release those emotions. And now my energy feels so much better. I couldn't have come on and done a live yesterday, not with all the streaming of tears. Oh, seriously. I haven't felt that low in years. I mean, it really just done me up like a kipper. But as I said, what it did is it reignited my passion, and it reinvigorated me, unbeknownst to me at the time that was going to happen. But that was with the help of my mentor, who provided me with a couple of tools, which literally was some articles and a video to set me back in the right direction. And that's the beauty of mentoring. That's the beauty of it. You know, she didn't tell me, you must do. She just sent me some information and said, have a read of that, it might help. And it did help. It helped me no end. But it is about being true to yourself. It is about that. So the setback is no longer a setback. But these things do happen. And I'm sure something else will come along that's going to happen, that's going to do something very similar. Again, it may not be regards to that, you know, my family or that. It may be in regards to something else, you know, but it's okay. It's okay. But one of the key things that I do want to say, which is really, really important, because I had to let that emotion out. I had to let it out. I couldn't have it stored inside me anymore. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to let your emotions out. And if you don't speak about these things, and if you don't try and analyse them yourself to get you to the next phase of where you need to be, what happens is they end up being just stored inside you again. And then you end up in all sorts of trouble, because stagnant stored energy, bad energy, negative energy, because that's what that was a negativity that needed to come out, manifests in so many different ways within your body. You can get migraines, you can get all sorts of stuff, you can suffer with depression, and you'll get self-doubt, and you go into that fear mode. And I think that's what happened to me yesterday. I went into fear. I went into that fear mode, whereby all the negative stuff that comes along with fear played out in me yesterday. And it was awful, awful place to be. But the fear of and knowing that those people potentially someone was trying to push them back into my life. But one of the key things about all of this is I have the choice anyway. It is my choice. It's my choice who's in my life. I choose. Not somebody else, me. Just like you choose. So if you're in any type of situation right now where you've gone through a little bit of a setback, just have a look at why. Why is that? For me, it was just, I had to play that out. I had to release that negative energy. I had to do that. And there you go. So what are you saying here? Oh, hello. Hello, Tina. Beth, having cleared out all this shit, you have no idea the beauty that you are now inviting into your life. You have made a huge space now to be filled up with true love. Yes, absolutely, Beth. I absolutely, totally agree. So there must have, that was blocking. It was blocking me, but I didn't realise. So I still actually say thank you to that person that tried to force those people on me, because it's released a load of negativity in me that I didn't quite know was there. And you're right, Beth. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Tina, we all have bad days. I think it's those things that hit us out of the blue are the ones that sideswipe us. But when you know what you're about, it doesn't last. You got through it and you're a little stronger for it. Absolutely. Absolutely, Tina. You're absolutely right there. You're absolutely right. It is those. That healing process I went through, definitely, that was knocking me sideways on a daily basis. That really was. And I've had nice calm. I've had a lot of calm in my life, for quite a few months now, where I haven't had to deal with that stuff, as I said, because I thought I'd dealt with it. So when that came in yesterday, I just was like, whoa. And it was like every single feeling that I'd felt over those couple of year periods that I was going through my healing process with all that crap going on, it was like the whole lot just went, there you go, done, and dumped on me. All of it. The whole lot. It was overwhelming. Absolutely overwhelming. So, setbacks. Setbacks are okay, because setbacks, sometimes they need to happen for you to actually release the negative. Oh, my glasses, what's going on there? The negative and the stored energy. And like my t-shirt says today, there you go. If you can see that, just be yourself and shine. And that's exactly what I plan to continue to do. So thank you for listening, if you've been listening to me. I hope I didn't bore you and ramble on too much. But I just wanted to just go through that, with you, just so that people know it's okay. It's actually okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to have a setback. And it's definitely okay to be you, that person inside you, your integrity. It's definitely okay. So, with that, my lovelies, what's Beth saying? Oh, Tina, love the t-shirt. Thank you. Beth is saying, bless you. Have a wonderful weekend. Beth, you too, my darling, and thank you for watching. And if you watch the replay, thank you for joining me. And I hope that my little live here helps some of you out there just to know it's okay. So, take care, my beautiful people. And I love you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.